about freedom and how it needs to be governed by responsibility and accountability, even perhaps more importantly. We all want freedom. We'd love to live in a world where we could just do whatever we wanted without anything but a good consequence and a good outcome. And I guess that's why as communities we agree on certain ethics, and as in families we're trained morally, and maybe even there's something innate about us, within us, that guides and governs that too, from a very genetic or spiritual level, depending on where you come from. But there really is no such thing as sustained freedom without responsibility and accountability. It's just not a possibility. It can only ever be momentary, and then it all comes unstuck because it self-implodes, it self-destructs. So it's kind of bothersome on some levels as you look around the world today, and especially with the emergence of social media over the last decade or so, and the internet over the last couple of decades, how the anonymity and yet access to the world, to be able to speak to anybody on the planet who's plugged into Twitter or Facebook or wherever they may be plugged in, these various many social media blog sites. People just say things with no sense of care. And one of the things that's really motivating me is to wake people up to the importance of responsibility, or what I like to call in more general terms, virtue. Just goodness. That how do you define goodness and virtue? I know it's quite subjective on many levels, but there's a generally agreed community standard of goodness. Like, it's not a good thing to go around hurting people physically. It's not a good thing to go around saying stuff that's destructive and emotionally unhelpful. It's not a good thing to provoke people to be angry. These are not good things. And so if we're going to live a virtuous life and we're going to live a good life, I think we need to start with ourselves. We want to change the world. Anybody that's, got a bit of get up and go in them, and some sort of sense of being self-actualized to any degree, we want to do some good and leave a positive impact. Well, that starts with changing ourselves. How about looking at your conversation, looking about the way you treat people and respond to, even when they provoke you? Does that necessarily justify a bad reaction? Do two wrongs make a right? My mother and father always taught me they didn't, and I kind of believe they don't. And I choose to live that way. And I think the more we can encourage people to be responsible and exude some sense of virtue and goodness. What the Bible and most religions refer to as godliness or godlikeness. We need to have this goodliness, is another way of sort of saying it in a generic sort of way. We need to have this goodness about us, be more prone to smile and scowl, be more prone to laugh than give out angry comment. I think, when we get squeezed and the goodness comes out rather than the vitriol and the resentment and the bitterness, and the frustration and the anger, when the peacefulness and the goodness and the satisfaction and the joy comes out, these are the things, that the kingdom of goodness is made up of. And this is the kingdom I want to be part of. This is the kingdom I want to promote. The kingdom of goodness, where virtue comes out of me even when I'm provoked, even when I'm pushed a bit, in fact, even pushed a lot. I guess that's the degree of maturity and how far you've grown in this kingdom. But I wanted to share that thought with you and leave you with maybe the motivation to step up and do something about yourself and be better than you have been. And if you can just improve a little bit every day, every week, over time, you become a lot better. Good on you for trying anyway.